6:02 now. He was supposed to be sentenced, but instead the former mayor of Fall River, now a convicted criminal, had part of his conviction thrown out.
Yeah, this was a move by the judge that really no one saw coming yesterday. It's leaving a lot of people wondering how this is now going to proceed today.
12 News reporter Erica RICCI live in Boston again this morning. Erica, what happened yesterday?
Well, guys, good morning. It's just yet another plot twist in the Jasiel Correia story. He did come here to federal court in Boston yesterday, expecting to be sentenced on the 21 counts he'd been convicted on over the spring, but instead, the judge here threw out nearly a third of them. So it's back to court again this morning, and to be quite honest, no one really knows what to expect when we go back inside the courtroom. Now, yesterday, when Jasiel Correia arrived here at the Moakley Federal Courthouse, he said nothing to reporters on his way inside. Inside the courtroom, though, the judge did all the talking, and when he did, it took everyone by surprise. Instead of beginning the sentencing proceedings, he took up a motion to acquit that Correia's legal team filed over the summer. For the next several hours, the judge heard arguments from both sides. Ultimately, he determined that the prosecution did not provide enough evidence at trial to support 6 of the charges related to Correia's now defunct Snow Owl app, in which he defrauded investors. The judge also tossed 2 of the IRS tax fraud charges, but he did say that he would not reverse the jury's verdict in the shakedown of marijuana vendors in Fall River while Correia was mayor. So, big question now, guys, what impact does this have on the sentencing whenever that actually goes ahead and takes place here? Remember, he was coming in, Jasiel Correia, to be sentenced on 21 counts. Now he's staring down 13 counts. What impact will this have? It's 11 years behind bars is what the prosecution was asking for. Legal team countered with 3 years. Ultimately, the judge will decide, but again, we're not quite sure what's going to happen inside there. Coming up next half hour, though, we are going to take a closer look at why he decided to throw out those charges. So I'll see you right back here 30 minutes from now. For now, live in Boston, Erica RICCI, 12 News.
This certainly was a move that took a lot of people in the federal courtroom in Boston by surprise.
So instead of telling former Fall River Mayor Jasiel Correia how long he will be going to prison for, the judge threw out nearly a third of his convictions.
And reporter Erica RICCI, she is back in Boston for us this morning. And Erica, which of these counts were tossed out yesterday?
So, Danielle, it was 8 of them that were thrown out by the judge here at the federal courthouse in Boston yesterday. 6 of them had to do with the wire fraud convictions related to Jasiel Correia's now defunct app, Snow Owl. The other 2 had to do with the IRS tax fraud charges. Now, all of them were part of a motion to acquit that Correia's legal team filed over the summertime. No one knew, though, that the judge planned to take up that motion at what was supposed to be his sentencing hearing yesterday at the Moakley Federal Courthouse in Boston. After hours of arguments from both sides, the judge determined that there was just not enough evidence from the prosecution presented at trial to prove interstate wire communications were used in cashing checks from investors in Snow Owl. The state worked furiously during the lunch break yesterday to print bank statements to show that checks written by investors in Massachusetts were cashed by Rhode Island-based Citizens Bank. But the judge said none of that was presented at trial, and that is the evidence he's obligated to base his decision on, and that's why he decided to go ahead and throw out those 6 convictions. In addition to that, the judge also said that he would acquit Correia on 2 counts of filing false tax returns in 2015. He did say that they are awaiting ruling on the rest of those tax fraud counts. We do expect that that will likely happen today inside the courthouse here, but as we saw yesterday, anything can happen. Day 2 of sentencing for Jasiel Correia expected to begin at 11 o'clock this morning. Live in Boston, Erica RICCI, 12 News.